everybody, I'm Epiphany Castro, and we are continuing 30 Days, 30 Nights. Please excuse the state of my appearance on this day, the 4th of April, 2014, as I just got out the shower, and I'm trying to do this blog. I look up, that ain't cute, right? Well, listen. It is what it is, and we are about to do this blog. I look pretty toe up. Ooh, child. All right, so 30 Days, 30 Nights, as some of you may or may not know, is the video blog I've designed to do for 30 days and 30 nights for the people to get to know me on your terms, not mine. That means you ask me stuff and I answer it. So I have a plethora of questions on this day. Y'all nosy? Y'all nosy. So let's just get to it. And I have a little coffee to get it in this morning. Yesterday was interesting. Okay, so let's see. What do we have? I have a feeling you love sunny California, but where else would you like to live just for a little while? Well, I do love sunny California, although for those who don't know, I live in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's not necessarily sunny here all the time. I don't live in Los Angeles. For those who don't realize it, let me turn this down. For those who don't realize, Northern California is mild. That's why people pay the exuberant prices they do to live here, because it's never that hot, it's never that cold. It's like 55. That's like our medium temperature here. I don't live by Los Angeles. Los Angeles is 300 miles away. It takes about 7 hours to drive there. So that's far. It's not down the streets. California is a huge state, but I digress. If I could live anywhere else, it would be Paris. I love the French. Even though they don't like us. They don't. You know this. Actually, it's not the French. It's the Parisians, generally speaking, who don't dig us that much. But if I could live anywhere else, I would suspect it would be Paris. I love the culture. I love French food. I love the language. I love the architecture. So I hope that answers. Let's see. When did you discover your purpose? I haven't. I've discovered some of my gifts. I've discovered some of what I love to do. I've discovered some of the things that I feel driven and compelled to do. Like, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 15 years. No, 16 years. No, yeah. Maybe 17. I'm getting old. I love teaching. I love getting them when they're young. People say, how come you don't teach older children? Because I'm a preschool teacher. I teach the pre-K class. That's always been my forte. I love teaching children how to read. So reading is a great part of my life. And it's like a gift that I feel very, very strongly about. And so I love teaching. So as far as my purpose, I haven't got there yet. I don't know. Isn't that what we're all seeking? Our divine purpose, why we're here? I wish I knew. However, I'm not the Dalai Lama. I love me some him. I wish he could come and tell me, because I don't know yet. In time. What made you realize you were a poet? I suspect I have always been a poet. I just didn't know. But I've been an artist of sorts since I can remember, like 3 years old, and writing songs, making up my own songs, writing short stories, singing in the church choir, making up my own words, and So words have always been a part of me. I'm an only child, and when other people would be hanging out with their brothers and sisters, I would be at the library, the nerd that I am. Yes, my grandparents would drop me off at the Berkeley Public Library and leave me there all day. And I was happy as a little clam. In fact, my first job was at the Berkeley Public Library, North Branch. And I, believe it or not, was extraordinarily shy, and books were my friends. So, how did I get to that? How did I get to that? When did I discover I was a poet? Well, that being said, I've always been an artist. I discovered writing poetry and sharing it in like 2007. And that was back in the MySpace days and things like that. And I would blog and I would write poems, and then people were like, you should do this and you should do that. And so I did. I never considered myself a slam poet or a spoken word artist. And then later on, that tag came later. But as Ursula Rucker says, we are not spoken word artists, because what happens when you don't speak? Are you not an artist when you're silent? So I don't call myself that anymore. Thanks, Ursula. Moving right along. Where are the dope thrift shops in the Bay? Well, there are too many to name, my friend, but I would recommend perusing Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley. There's 5,000 different vendors, street vendors on the street, and stores and shops and vintage shops. Thrift shop hopping here is an art form. You learn it at a very early age. You learn how to go this place and that place, and it's part of our culture living here. I would say Telegraph Avenue, and I would say Haight Street in San Francisco. Haight Street is phenomenal. There's 10 zillion thrift stores on there, on that street, and I suspect you'll find what you're seeking there. And you know, sometimes you got to dig and go into the Mission District, and you know, go places you might not think. But Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley and Haight Street in San Francisco, I would recommend. Do you have any pictures of yourself in your teen years that you want to share? Hell no. I've posted some pictures like at the prom and things like that, with my high school sweethearts and things like that. But honestly, growing up, I was so forgettable that I suspect most people don't remember me. I've always been plain. I've always been not the standout person, never the pretty girl, never, ever, ever, still not. But I think over time I grew into myself and knowing what works and what doesn't, and that's why I'm comfortable taking pictures and things like that. People always go, oh, you take the dopest pictures, how do you do that? Angles, shade, light. Angles, shade, light. So I know how to take a decent picture, but back then I didn't. Hence, you don't need to see a little 4'11" little girl with braces and a flip and feathered bangs, right? You don't need to see that. Trust me, it will burn your memory. You don't want to see that. What inspires your craft? I've been asked that about, I wish I had $1 for every time I was, different stuff inspires me. It depends. It just does. When I was recording The Alchemist, and writing for it, I should say, I was hugely inspired by my transformation, going from a sick, sad individual to a well, happy individual. So I was inspired by the whole idea of the chrysalis, the butterfly effect. Not the butterfly effect, that's a whole, what am I thinking? Okay, I was highly inspired by my transformation inside and out. Soulflower, when I did the first album, I was inspired by love all around me. People would tell me the stories of their love, or I would reflect on great loves. I've had many great loves in my life. Of course, none such as my husband, because I've been married 19 years. But it's okay to reflect. I had a boyfriend in high school who treated me, actually end of high school, he treated me so wonderfully. And to this day, I adore him. He used to call me a princess, and he said all the right things and did all the right things, and he's a wonderful person. And when we parted ways, it's only because we grew older and we were going to college, etc. So those sort of kind, wonderful memories stay with me, and I'm able to pull from them and write about them. Sometimes I'm pissed and I can write about something like that. I mean, I'm a human. Every human writes about their experience. I'm not the writer who sits back and writes about observation so much, because everything I write has something to do with me on some level, whether it's big or small or obvious or not. And most often not that obvious. I know every time I write a poem that's about love, it used to be people were suspecting I was writing about somebody, about my husband, but it's not necessarily even about him. I don't even think I've ever wrote a piece about my husband. I don't need to. I don't need to. Bada bing, bada boom. He's my husband. He's been married to me 19 years. I've been with him 20 years. We have a 17-year-old son, a dog, 2 dogs, a house, you know. It's just part of my existence. But I love love, and I love reading and writing and speaking of it. And that's why my tagline is love is everything. I think I have answered. Do you have any pics? Yeah, I do, but you ain't gonna see them. Thrift stores. When did you realize you were a poet? When did you discover your purpose? And where would you like to live? And what inspires your craft? That's 5. I did good. Did I do good? I think I did. So on this day, Friday, as you see, I'm looking really mighty. Oh, I need to shave underneath my arms, child. I'm showing way too much of my business on this day. But I am pretty honest. I'm pretty honest. And I thank you for your questions. And we're going to keep it moving for the next 28 days thereafter. I've not received any offensive things asked yet. I'm sure there's always some sideways something, but I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty honest. So on this day, I'm about to go out and do my errands. Again, thank you for joining me for 30 days, 30 nights at Epiphany Land. It's interesting the things y'all ask me. I'm dying here, and I really need to go get dressed and transform myself and look halfway decent, because I'm not looking cute. That's not a good look, but it's an honest look, and I'm an honest person. So get your day on. I'll be speaking to you soon, and keep the questions coming. I promise I'll answer you. Be good.